Hello, and welcome to Carol Kicklighter's TV Funerals. First order of business. I've been meaning to. The organ player is not showing up. That is clear by this point. He's a charlatan. He's a fake, and he's not gonna show up. So. I've been giving it my best. I really have. But now I think it's time to really take things seriously. After the show, I've got a lot of plans after the show, but I think I might go to Borders and pick up Organ for Dummies because it looks like Carol's going to have to take initiative to get that done. But, yeah, so a lot has happened on Carol Kicklighter's TV Funerals. For those of you who might have missed last week's episode due to academics or weather, there was a little bit of an issue. Things didn't go exactly according to plan last week on Carol Kicklighter's TV Funerals. Namely, in that it wasn't Carol Kicklighter's TV Funerals. I did not host the funeral because one of the attendees decided that I didn't seem like a good fit. They didn't think, even though my name's in the show and it's my job, that I would do a good job. So I was locked in a broom closet that smelled of mildew for I don't know how long. My watch is still on daylight saving times, so I don't know how long I was in there. But regardless, I bounced back. I said, well, these things happen. It's a tricky line of work, TV funerals. Next week, we'll be back to normal. So this week, the deceased is Eowyn Bennet. She died. And nobody's here. Nobody showed up for Eowyn's funeral. I've been waiting. Again, I'm not really sure because my watch isn't been changed for daylight savings. So I don't know how long I've been waiting, but I know I've been waiting for a long time, longer than I should. And I don't think anyone's coming. I don't think anyone's showing up to her funeral. So I thought that this would be back to normal, back to basics. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Because typically, for these funerals, we have friends and family come up and speak and share their grief and celebrate the joy that they had while the deceased was still with them. And they talk about how much they are going to miss them. But this week, no one can do that. I can't do that. I didn't know Eowyn. I never saw her before she was a corpse. What am I going to say, folks? Eowyn Bennet was a Caucasian female with multicolored hair and fingernails painted. Not much of a eulogy, folks. That's a sad eulogy right there. And believe you me, I have heard some sad eulogies. So, but like the great Gummo Marx said, the show must go on. So I want to give you a show because you tuned in. But I'm not really sure how to do it. you know, I'm not really sure how to do it. It just seems like an awful strange occurrence that 1 week after I'm trapped in a broom closet, so I can't do my job. I can't really do my job because typically I'm here to help, to guide the course, to steer the ship. Someone would come up and say, "Oh, Eowyn, I loved her. We went sledding." And I would say, "I bet that was fun." And they'd say, "Yes, it was." And then I'd play them off. I'd play them off and then on to the next one. And we'd all cry and laugh together. But this week, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? And, it just starts me thinking, and not to get personal, folks. My name might be in the show's title, but this show isn't about me. I know that. I've got no reservations about that. It is about the deceased. It's their time to shine. It's their last time to shine because now they're dead. You can't shine again after you're dead. The funeral is the last shine. I could call this show Carol Funerals TV Last Shines. Might as well. So not to get personal, but I guess, I can't help but think, what the heck happened to Eowyn? What the heck happened, folks? Why is no one here? Why didn't anyone show up for her? Every other week, even last week, someone showed up for that person's funeral. They showed up to lock me in a broom closet. Wasn't a good person, was a really bad person, but they still showed up. They still made an appearance. What has to happen in a life to have no one show up to your TV funeral? What do you have to do? Do you do bad things? Do you go around locking people in broom closets, and then when the time comes that you're gone, people say, "Well, I don't want to show up for them. They were awful. They did mean things. They treated people poorly. Good riddance. Bye-bye. Sayonara, sucker." Is it that? Is it the actively doing of bad things? Or is it perhaps just the absence of good? The absence of doing nice things? Is it just not being there? Was Eowyn, was she just not there? Was she not there for anyone? Did she not show up to other people's TV funerals? Was she never there for their last shine to bathe in their light? Was she too caught up in coloring her hair and painting her nails and frilling her socks? Maybe that's why. Maybe she just didn't have the time. No, sorry, friend. It's all about Eowyn. It's all about me. Was that what you did? Like, I just gotta wonder, folks, what did you do? Is that what you did? What did you do? And then I think about what I do and what I've always done. I've always worked. I've always come on in and I've gotten the job done. And I've worked in a lot of different things, in a lot of different ways. I was there really at the start of the .NET bubble. I've worked a lot. I've in the past few years, I invested and spent a great deal of time trying to navigate new forms of cheesy snacks that would taste more sweet rather than salty. I thought there was something there. Cheese without the salt. And then, recently, as you all at home know, I started doing this. I started doing TV funerals. To me, this was just another way to work, another job, another way to get things done, because that's what I do. I get things done. But, I didn't expect it, but guess what? Now I start thinking about things. I didn't have to really think about things when I was working with cheesy snacks. All I had to think about was, how can I get this to have less salt, that salty salty aftertaste. That was all I had to think about. But now, I'm always thinking about death. All the time. Always, I'm thinking about when it's all going to end and how it's all going to end. And now because of you, Eowyn, I've got to think, who's going to show up to my TV funeral? Have I even had the time to... I imagine it as though you must, throughout your entire life, you're just planting the seeds of the vegetables who will show up to your funeral. Every kind word, every thoughtful gesture, every time you save someone out of a broom closet, you're planting a seed. And that's going to turn up into it's going to grow into a turnip or a radish or a beet that will be sitting in the vegetable cart when it's all over, at your last shine. And folks, Carol doesn't know if he's done that. I certainly didn't plant a seed in that person last week. I thought I was going to. I thought that by getting up here and helping out all those people who had lost a friend, that I would be planting my seed in all of them. And that they would know that I cared. And that through my work, I was trying to spread the seed of love. But we didn't see eye to eye, and so they locked me in a broom closet. And now I just have to wonder, has any of it worked? Are any of you who have just seen me through a little box, are you going to... Because I will die. Eowyn's no outlier. We are all Eowyn. We are all gonna be here. We're all gonna die. And goodness gracious, I don't want to be in this sorry state of affairs. I don't want to be like Eowyn. Look at her. We're gonna she's going into a truck after this. We're gonna burn her up or shoot some who knows what into her so that bugs can't feast on her, and then she's going away forever, for good. She's gone. I don't want that to be me. I don't know what Eowyn did, but boy, I want to do the opposite. I want this whole place to be overflowing. I don't want people to have room to breathe. I want them to be packed in like little sardines. And I would also like a can of sardines next to me because they're a good snack. They're salty but not cheesy. I think perhaps a sweet cheese and a salty sardine, that would be a really good treat after this. But regardless, I want them all there, folks. So I know I'm gonna have to make a change. I'm because I don't want to be like Eowyn, so I'm gonna have to make a change. I'm gonna have to start doing good things for people outside of work. I'm gonna have to make some friends. Carol Kicklighter is gonna have to make some pals. so that somebody's there when it's all done. So, yeah. If you would like to take me up on this offer, people watching at home, my email is Carol_Kicklighter at funerals.biz. That's B-I-Z. So hopefully I hear from a couple of you. We can socialize. And I guess in future weeks, hopefully some people will show up and I can plant some seeds. Because I'm gonna die and I want to have a friend before I die. I don't just want to work. I want to have a friend. So, I think somebody once said that the great thing about death is that it reminds us of the importance of being alive. With that in mind, the great part about Eowyn's death is that it taught me that I gotta live. So, I'm not going to touch the body because you're not allowed to touch the body, but I'm just right now, I'm going to get as close as possible. And I'm just going to say, Eowyn, thank you for dying. She didn't have anyone else show up, but hey, she had old Carol. So if you want to have somebody like me, somebody who will be there, then be my friend. So, with that, goodbye, Eowyn. Rest in peace. And me, Carol Kicklighter, still alive, still kicking, ready to do this better than ever. We'll see you all next week.